Please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Hello everyone, welcome back to a Megon 2 Electric Boogaloo. Today we have 3 videos to respond to. A medley response video. Is that it? Yeah. The first comes from Libs of TikTok, the second Alan Roberts, the third from Sneeko. So to Libs of TikTok, quote, "White women are one of the most dangerous groups in the US. Whiteness is a cult." The video comes from BLKGRL Tragic. Oh yay, this is gonna be fun, isn't it? Got to love a little casual racism. Oh but wait, you can't be racist to white people. Shut up, yes you can. Your misinterpretation of everything is remarkable.
It's truly amazing to me how fast the narrative changes.
Yes, I've been told it's akin to that of a mood ring.
I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. White women are one of the most dangerous groups in the United States and abroad.
You may say it before and say it again, but I will say once and one time only, citation needed. How are white women, who make up half the world's population of white people, let's say roughly that, so 4.5%, the most dangerous? If they're so dangerous, additionally, why are you trying to blast them when they're so threatening? Additionally, how insulated and narrow is your worldview? Do you perhaps suffer from a form of tunnel vision?
At this point, we've pretty much all seen the video of the city bike incident between the black guy and the white woman.
Oh yes, you mean the bike that was legally borrowed, paid for by the white woman that the guys wouldn't let her take because they claimed she was stealing it. Yes. It's funny how that got buried and suppressed once it came to light that she had committed no crime and they were essentially trying to assault her.
The black guy claimed that he bought the bike, the white woman claimed that she bought the bike. It was a tug-of-war match.
And yet of the two of them, she was the only one with the receipt proving she paid for it, which has in turn led to many to call her a Karen and also a beneficiary of white privilege, because even though she had proof the bike was hers, that'd be bad because he claimed it, and that meant it was his, akin to that of licking something. Oh, and I'm also acutely aware that people tried to get her fired from her job. I like that on Twitter you keyboard twat warriors immediately reduce this down to a white woman and a black man. You go straight to race because you're so pathetic. She has the receipt to prove she had the right to it. If he had a receipt as well, then it is as much not her fault as it is not his fault.
But notice how white people were laying in wait for some little nugget of information that was going to absolve this white woman of taking accountability for the harm that she put these boys in.
What harm? Her tears? The fact she was pregnant? The fact she had paid for a bike? The confusion caused on both sides? What harm really? Somebody intervened and got her another bike. Are you deluded?
Whiteness is a cult.
If whiteness is a cult, so is blackness, Hispanicness, every other raceness, that I can't listness, because of the effortness. If someone says white power, it's racist. If someone says black power, it's empowering. If someone says any other raceness power, it's considered a form of empowering as well. This bollocks has been going on for far too long. It really has. People like you that are one-dimensional, in a respect, mentally, of course, not physically, can't see beyond your own narrow vision.
And they will always come to the defense of their cult members.
Bought and paid for by George Soros, Bill Gates, Ted Bundy, and Elon Musk. Would you like a membership? I hear they're offering a discount right now. It also comes with a complimentary copy of The Onion.
This evidence that people are now getting on here to push to say that this white woman is innocent actually doesn't prove anything at all.
Actually, yes it does. The receipt conclusively proves she had paid for the right to be on that bike. Again, it could have been a simple misunderstanding, blown out of proportions because she got super defensive and emotional, and he wouldn't let go or stand and listen for a minute. He had friends around and she panicked. You're in a city and there are many certain, crimes on the rise. Fear exacerbated by racial tension. This is not rocket science. Learn to placate and don't be so aggressive. Applies to both sides, of course.
But it does prove the lengths that some of y'all will go to protect white women.
And those that have a legal claim to something that they had paid for. The fact that that person happened to be white means nothing. Now, if the young man in that video also had a receipt proving he had a right to that bike as well, again, it is an administrative error and nothing more.
It's wild to me how people still see black people as one of the most violent groups.
Should I pull up crime statistics? and then argue semantics over absolute and relative, proportionate, and, well, actual numbers, because you won't like the answer when you see it.
When actually the most violent among us has the inability to hold their community members accountable for the ways in which they harm other people.
As is well established, white people are not allowed to have a community because if they have a community that is entirely white, it is dubbed racist. Don't try me with this. I would have thought you'd be smarter than that, but apparently you're not. So let's move on to the second video from Alan Roberts. Not dating fat people is fatphobic. Why would anyone date someone who boasts about gluttoning themselves like this? The video is quite short. From Uncomfy the Poo? That might say something else, but I actually can't tell from the image in the tweet because of the white bit in the window at the back. We'll find out though. There are on TikTok many accounts that do this. There are actually YouTube channels as well of people who just show you what they eat in a day or set challenges. So you will set them a challenge of how much they are allowed to spend in a day and they spend it on their daily food intake. And then they over sensationalize all the food they've had because apparently this is a thing. Now I will look down on it because for the sake of it, I consider it a form of pointless gluttony, but it is arguably a form of entertainment on TikTok. And sometimes on YouTube Shorts, depending on the creator in question. Some vlog it, so they make additional videos and give you the Cliff's Notes version in the form of shorts. This style of content doesn't really resonate with me and I get a bit judgy about it. When it comes to what Alan Roberts is talking about in his tweet, this all harkens back to a number of videos he has shared where people have said if you don't date someone who is plus-sized or further down that road than plus-sized, to the point of then you are suffering from a form of fat phobia, and you need to unlearn this, along with every other preference. Who needs to breathe if you're the bottom? I'm going to play the rest of this one, by the way, before we go to the third video, which ties into food anyway. You know, earlier when I said it's Uncomfy the Poo, it's Uncomfy the Pod. It's a podcast. Fat bias, ADHD, and influencing, with two people talking about, well, fatness, other things. A lot of the content isn't just clips from a podcast, but also showing what they eat in a day when they do fast food restaurant content. It's not for me personally, and I don't really find it appealing, but again, I'm not here to judge what someone does as a form of career, influence is a bit of a brave one, considering your TikTok isn't the biggest, but your podcast is apparently ranked number 2 on Spotify charts, so clearly you're doing better than I thought, even though I know nothing about you. So on to the third video, Sneeko. This has got to be one of the worst takes of all time, retweeted by Sugar Tits. According to her, eating animals is just as bad as doing animals. Well, this should be good.
Okay, this is my hot take, okay? If you eat animals, I think that you're probably as equally as fucked as someone that sleeps with one.
I don't necessarily think that's a hot take. I think you've just thought of something completely random and considered it more, big brain, as opposed to smooth brain. You've considered quite the false equivalence, as if both can be regarded as equal when they are nothing alike. At no point while eating my medium rare steak am I thinking, wrist to elbow. The same can be said the other way round. At no point while wrist to elbow in a cow am I thinking, medium rare steak. I could do this with other animals if you like, but I don't think I can go wrist to elbow in a chicken, or vice versa in a KFC mega bucket.
Wait, so you think I'm as bad as somebody who fucks a dog? A white girl who's like putting peanut butter on her clit?
Because you eat animals?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's equal?
Wait, I'm confused.
You know that's stupid, right?
The man in the middle there was speaking about Whitney, Wisconsin. Yeah, well known on the internet for having done things like that with a dog. And there was somebody in the news recently who also diddled a dog, so them as well. It's quite disturbing. When she starts laughing though, the woman next to him, that's when you know she's just thought of it at the top of her head and is pulling it out of her asshole.
I'm just saying that if you're complaining about people fucking animals, you should also complain about people eating them. That's my point.
I don't think that's the point you think it is. I don't think it's remotely comparable either. Additionally, people do complain when someone diddles an animal. When it comes to the issue concerning eating them, I'm afraid you're going to have a long, hard slog using reductio ad absurdum to get anyone on your side. But as we know you're not eating the meat, don't worry, we'll all do it for you.
But you actually get something out of eating an animal. That's what we're supposed to do. They're
I mean, you're
created for-
also getting something out of coming inside a cat, right?
No, you're not.
Young lady, you are thinking of the wrong kind of cat.
You're getting to come
getting
inside
that
a cat.
nut.
That's probably like the drivenness of doing it. Is
I mean, if we were to take some
I like that you've dug this hole for yourself, and yes, the video ended there. You've dug this hole, and you're going, right, YOLO. I am now going to double down and try with 2 guys to get them to understand my thought process. In doing so, make myself look like an even bigger jeb end. Congratulations. 3 morons for the price of 1. Smash the like, folks.